Attorney General Miller, at the outset of my opening comments, I talked about the importance of getting this Financial Stability Council that we established in the Financial Reform Bill to anticipate systemic risk and to collectively work as a body chaired by the Secretary of the Treasury, along with the FDIC, the OCC. There are 10 members of that, an independent member, and 5 others that are part of it. This seems to me like a classic example, one that we did not anticipate necessarily when we drafted the legislation. But exactly, I mean, we are in a crisis with this. Now, you could argue that it's not yet a systemic crisis that poses the kind of risk we saw in the fall of '08. But no one can argue that we're not in the middle of a crisis. Now, the idea of this, of course, was to minimize crises so that they don't grow into the large systemic crisis. Have you had any contact with the Secretary of the Treasury? Is there any communication going on between the Attorney Generals and this council, or the chairman of it, the Secretary of the Treasury, or their office, to begin to talk about what the role of the federal government might be in formulating an answer to all of this?
We haven't had any contact with the council. We have repeated contact with the Department of Treasury, with Assistant Secretary Michael Barr and his staff. We've developed a terrific ongoing relationship with them. We talk about these issues and try and help and support each other on these issues. So we've had a lot of discussions with Treasury, but not with that particular council.
Well, again, I saw it off the privately with Senator Warner and others may. I don't know if Senator Merkley has a similar thought. I'm going to use this forum here, obviously in a very public setting, to urge the Secretary of the Treasury and others to convene that council, to begin to work with you and others, so that there is a role here to examine this question in seeking broad solutions to this question. So my hope is they'll hear this request to pick up that obligation that we, I think, laid out in that legislation.